All right. Well, we have just finished Dating Four Girls. Very, very mixed experience. I think honest thoughts in terms of score. I'm torn. I feel like it's a six. I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. I will give Rainbow Games some credit. There's one thing that they do which I can't stand in other games, although they did change it a little bit here, which made me a little upset, and that is if you watch everything, you unlock everything. You don't have to go back and pathing. Story Taco is extremely notorious for their backtracking, which basically adds like 2-3 hours to the game. Super boring just to get perfect paths. This game, as long as you do everything, you'll get all the perfect love. Fantastic Rainbow Game, keep that up. I will give them credit for this game. They took a risk in terms of the setting. It's obviously a little more obscure. It's not like a traditional game. I do love the cool settings, so kudos to that. Excuse me. They did update or take a step forward in terms of quality, cinematics, etc. So it's different from the previous games. You can definitely tell that they have a bigger budget now. Um, but yeah, I think some of the downsides are, number one, there were some quality issues when the game came out. I didn't have too many issues. I did have some game issues running it initially, but they released some quick patches, and I know a lot of people were talking about bugs and translation issues. So I don't understand the language and translation, so for me, I can't really comment on that. But clearly, it's something that's noted. They acknowledge, so definitely an issue. I think one issue that they did have here that they didn't have in previous games is the endings are basically just repeats. They just swap out some of the characters. So I kind of feel like they should have, one, either made the endings different, or two, if you're basically just going to have, for the most part, the same pathing, just make it skippable so you don't have to do it every single time and waste like a hour and a half on that. But my biggest issue with this game, honestly, and where I find it hard to recommend, is it's way too serious. The previous games were fun, but they embraced Goon. Like, they leaned into it. They were kind of super edgy, especially Harpian in Thailand. You had like the whole Ladyboy thing, and there's some good clips there on just being edgy. This game is way too serious. Like, this is basically a drama. This shouldn't even be considered like an FMV in terms of like dating or 18 plus or anything like that. It's weird that it even has the content tags of like sexual and, yeah, sure, whatever. There's some innuendos, but compared to the other games, it's like absolutely nothing. So I think 7 out of 10 is fair. Can't really recommend to anyone other than if you actually play these seriously, which is actually crazy to me, but I know there are actually people that play this seriously. The price is also super fair. I will give them credit. It was $10 Canadian day one. It's literally 3 times cheaper than Story Taco. Pretty much same amount of content. When you factor in that Story Taco extends their games artificially with the backtracking, and yeah, it's a tough feeling. I think if you're into the serious, you'll like it. If you want some fan service edginess, I'd say avoid it or get it down the road on sale. I think Rainbow Game is somewhat on the right path, but they took a regression. Going from Secrets or the Heartbeat to Heartbeat in Thailand was like a mega step up. That was 2025 Goon of the Year. This I don't really see being Goon of the Year, and obviously, there's more games that'll come out, but definitely a missed opportunity. The setting was cool. They should have leaned into the edginess a bit more. Way too serious, but it is what it is. So that's my honest thought.